Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. It's an exciting day because, yes, we finally have an AI watch in. A lot of you have been asking for reviews of the AI watch, and this one is interesting. We're moving more now into the sports smartwatch arena. You're going to see this one. There's another one I'm working on right now that I'm testing out. This is live, regular heartbeat monitoring. Of course, I'm excited. It's going to be way up there in beats per minute. We'll show you more about that one later. This one is the AI watch, and both of those watches you just saw come to us from Everbuying. Everbuying is supplying beautiful, wonderful watches for us to take a look at. This is the C5, and what's it got? Well, let's find out. Let's open up the box and see. The AI Smartwatch C5 warranty card laying on top of what looks like the manual. Okay, it's a big one. Oh, there we go. Yay, in pink. Just what I've always wanted, a pink watch. I'm so tired of the black and the blue and the gold and the leather, and now I've got my own pink watch. Well, here we go. Let's take a look. It's got that cool kind of a snap-on silicone band pink thing, and a round dial with a button and another button. But this button's unique because it's also apparently a 360 twisty knob thing, it says. So we'll play with that when we turn it on. In the back, wow, you see the SIM card inserts there, and it looks like the back panel is missing on the watch. There's a heart rate monitor. There's where we hook up the charging unit. But there's a big round plate with 4 screws that are not on the watch. Well, maybe they've taken it off. Let's see what else is in the box. Yeah, we have a white insert. Wow, and inside that box is empty. So everything is inside of here. There it is. Oh, we're in luck. So the back panel with the screws is removed. So if you're giving this as a gift, especially to somebody young, you may want to try to put this all back together for them. That's a real tiny screws, very short as well. But you can see the back panel is what we would need to cover up the nano SIM card slot, which this will use for direct communication to cellular calls and stuff. Okay, so we've got that. What else have we got in here? Let me open this section. We have nothing. It's empty space. We must have a charging thing going on, though. On the inside here, we have... Oh, there's a screwdriver. I mentioned that, I guess. An orange one. That's different. Orange and pink. All right, we're getting there. Here we go with a, looks like relatively strong magnetic coupling. Kind of some good attention to detail. It's got its own logo, and looks like all we would need to do is make sure that this slides in like that, right? So that it just floats right into there where the charger will connect. It's not really terribly, it's good strong. Yeah, I just had to have it aligned. Okay. Good and strong. It has a built-in USB cord, so it's not the kind that can disconnect. So unfortunately, you just can't pop it out and take this whole thing as a unit with you and charge it at work. You have to drag the wire along. To me, that's not a good design. Probably has a little light that glows too when you plug it in to let you know the condition of the charging. But there you go. That's the pink AI Watch C5 unboxing. We'll move all this stuff away, and we'll get ready and turn it on, see what it'll do without the back on. I'll put the back on later. Okay, we're ready to turn it on, but before we do, I wanted to show you that I have put a SIM card in here, and I've checked it out. It does work, and you're about to see what a dual mode watch looks like. One that can make its own phone calls and messaging from a SIM card, and also can tether and make calls using the SIM card in your phone, called the dual mode. It's what we're all begging for in the Android standalone watches, and up until now, it's not there because they don't have Funduwear as the matching app. They use something called Cinwear. Funduwear lets you do this tethering. But let's move on. I'm going to give it a button push and start it up. Not long enough. There we go. The AI watch. These are the specs. Give you some information, basic information on it while it's coming up. 300 milliamp hour battery. Pretty nice. And we have our first watch face. Da-da-da-da. Let's do the parade of watch faces. Oh, it's connecting as we speak. Now you're going to notice this app comes up every now and then and says there's an update. I'm going to cancel allowing access to my contacts because you guys don't need to see all my contacts. This is downloaded from the Play Store. There's an update that you go to that's not from the Play Store, and I virus checked it and it came back and said it had a virus. So I don't know. It comes up all the time on the screen wanting you to do the update. I think they just have to resolve that. Somehow it's getting triggered, but until then, just use the one you download from the Play Store called Funduwear. We'll get into that when you see the barcode, and you'll be in good shape, except for constantly having to dismiss that little warning. All right, it started out by giving us a battery capacity stuff. When you say view, you can see your messages, and you can open them, delete them, or block them. So this is a regular message coming in on the watch now. I'm not replying to it, but I'm able to read it. And they're all there. You're going to see that. Press and hold. We can swipe through the different watch faces that we have here. Notice this is a flat tire kind, like the old Android Wear type. There's a little button down there that you can press that takes you back. There's also a little thing up here at the top. It's like a little window. I thought it might be a camera, but I think it's actually a sensor of some sort. Might be for doing infrared or temperature or something. More watch faces. There's a digital one with your information at the top that you're tethered with Bluetooth. There's a headphone thing there, so I guess you can do play music over the Bluetooth and the battery charge with the day and date and all that information. This is wild. Look at this one. Wow, there's a lot of stuff on there. There's your temperature. There's your UV rating. There's your steps and stuff. More than you could possibly imagine on this readout. I haven't seen one this elaborate. So we are looking at somewhat new technology overlaid some older technology. And I don't think you can add your own photo. I have not seen a way to create your own watch face with your own choice of photo, not on this watch. That would be a nice addition, though, wouldn't it? And here's another nice blue watch against a pink band. Did I mention it's pink? Can't get over. Oh, did you see that? Look at that. It went out. Well, now it's still on. Okay. But it went out for a second when I turned it over. That must mean it's got that feature turned on. There you go. Well, that answers the question. You guys don't have to send in. No, I don't know how long the battery life is. That's the biggest question I constantly get, and it depends on how you use your watch. And there's that one. And another one. Oh, I think we're all the way back again, and that's where the 6 is cut off. And then there's that really fun one that I'm just going to leave it on right there. So those are the watch faces. If you scroll to the left, you get the dial pad. Now, here's where it gets really cool. Let's just put in some random digits, and let's hit the key. This is how you tell if you have a dual mode watch. If it'll say, do you want to make a local call using your SIM card, or do you want to go through and it'll give you the name of the Wi-Fi link that you have on your phone. Okay, I don't have the SIM card in here because I have moved it over, so it's not letting me make the call. There says that software update, which I just have to constantly let go of. So it tried to make that call, but it couldn't. But if I had a SIM card here, I would, and I would talk and hear from the watch. The speakers are on the side here. Good and bad about that, folks. Let me tell you something. I tried this. When you have this on your arm, and that's what it looks like. Forgive me for it being pink, but I mean, it's pink. Anyway, when it's on your arm, you see where the speaker and the microphone are. They're kind of like right there. I noticed that if it's really loud, music playing or a phone call or something, and you want to kind of mute it, you just got to push it down into your skin, and that shuts it down really a lot. If you want to hear it, you kind of lean it up, because all you got to do is cover those speakers, and you can mute the sounds. So there's an analog way to digitally mute the sound on this watch. It's not in the front. It's not on the top. It's there. I like it, and I don't. It's not exceptionally loud, but it is good and loud enough to hear as long as they're not covered up. Also means this is not a waterproof watch by any means. I mean, look at all of the places water could get into it. And it's a sports watch. So, I don't know, darned if you do, darned if you don't. It's got lots of capabilities, but waterproof isn't one of them, I don't think. So that's what we got when we swipe to the right, bringing over the left panel. When we come back and we go the other direction, this is where you get your notifications. And if there's more than one, you just keep going through them like that. Okay. When you go down, you get these things. This is your Bluetooth, your SOS, your shortcut, and all of your other system information, including the about this watch. And here's the info on the watch. All right, all that stuff. And its version and its release time, January 29th, 2016. Okay, and that's what you got to by swiping down. So we've gone left, right, down, and up, he says, is how you get into all of the apps. All right, we're ready for the app parade, because there's a lot of them, and they're pretty interesting. Some new stuff in here. First of all, you notice Yahoo Weather. Let me jump over here to our linked app called Fundowear. When you go into here, you can see My Applications. And in the My Applications, you can add specific apps that they have, of which they only have one, Yahoo Weather, or these different watch faces. Now, this is true of every watch that supports the Fundowear app, which are most of the tethering watches. You can put these exact same watch faces on here. Not much, it's a beginning, but imagine if they expand this and you have hundreds of watch faces and several different applications that you could put on these tiny little watches. You're almost up to having one of those Android watches with the Google Play Store capability, okay? Just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and install that digital clock. And there it is. It just got installed. Now, if I go back, and I press and hold, and I go through here, you'll see there it is. That's the new watch face we just put in. Same thing with all the rest of them. I can also uninstall it, as simple as that. I'm not sure what'll happen if I'm on it when I uninstall it, so I'm going to move to a different one. And okay, we uninstall it, and it's successful on the uninstall. Now if I press and hold, it's not there anymore. So that's how you add and subtract these limited watch faces and apps from your watch. So we said we've got in here, under the app, Yahoo Mail. When I set it up, I set the temperature for Fahrenheit, and I chose New York City to be the place, the location. So through Wi-Fi connected right now, or cellular, if I had the SIM card in here, it's pulling in the information on the city that I want, the current updated weather. It takes a long time to load for some reason, but once it does, in the temperature units you chose, you're going to get the weather report on there. And I thought I could talk long enough that it would actually load, but obviously it hasn't. There we go. That was all in one breath, gang. 92 degrees. I don't know what else have we got. Anything else on here? I guess that's it. All right. So you have your Yahoo Weather, and it's tied to the Fundowear app in the My Applications section. Okay? No, we don't want to update. UV. It tells you the current ultraviolet condition. Now, we're indoors. I presume that might be a reading here. If you have it in direct sunlight, it might tell you your UV. I'm not sure if that's what that is, but there's a play and a pause, and then there's a check mark that may or may not work, and it says it's weak right now, and I'm getting a rating of 0 because we're indoors. But that's a new feature we haven't seen much on these watches. Temperature. I love what they say here on temperature. Notice it's a big degrees C, and I can't see how to change it from C, so we got to learn our C's. Temperature near the watch. This isn't the ambient temperature outdoors. It isn't the weather report temperature. It isn't necessarily the temperature of your arm. It is some combination of temperatures blending the outside, the inside, your body heat, and I don't know, your mood. Remember the mood rings? Maybe you can see your mood change by how the temperature changes on your arm if you get familiar with what the readings are. Nonetheless, there's another useless number for you on your watch that you can impress friends with, that you have the temperature somewhere near your watch. Wow, aren't we cool or what? Okay. Barometer, another interesting thing. It's telling me I'm 49.2 meters above sea level, I guess. That's the HPR of 1007.3. It's playing right now. I would suggest you put all these things on pause if you're not going to be using them right away, so you reduce your battery consumption. Like UV. Okay, let's see if they stay paused. Yeah, they do. So you got them, but don't use them unless you're actually reading them, and then put them on pause is my suggestion. The heart rate, of course, heart rate monitor, but you know what's cool? This one seemed to be accurate. Now, I've got it in the mode where it'll continuously read your heart rate. So once it gets a beat on me, so to speak, it should continue to give me my pulse. And better hold still while I'm talking. Actually, I need to do this and bring this over here and come down into sync data, data sync, and then come back over here into heart rate. And you'll see that that's the last reading I did earlier. It might have to be on the fixed version for this, but let's sync data again. I thought it would live update, but so far it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's only doing it when you have a set reading. Okay, well, let's do that real quick. Let's switch over to the mode of once and come back here. Notice that button takes us all the way home. Uh-oh. Let's get down into the heart rate and let's start. Okay, now it's going to measure a single reading and lock that reading in for a particular date and time. I don't doubt it. I'm a couple of cups of coffee and I'm talking a lot right now, so I'll take 97. Just don't tell my doctor, okay? There we go. We synchronized and we got the reading. So it does work, folks. It links directly to the Fundu Wear app and it gives you your heart rate. The sedentary reminder. This is standard on all of them. It's like a continuing repeat timer. Every 30 minutes it will let you know that you need to stand up. It's not associated with how much movement you do, and it starts ticking when it notices you're sitting down. It appears it's just a repeating timer. The pedometer is all of this big stuff here. Well, let's start it. Now we've got, when you set goals, which we could do through the settings, how many steps you're going to walk in that particular day interval, you put in your height and your weight, but not your stride. It doesn't have your stride, so it's only good for counting steps, not really counting distance. There's your steps, your calories burned, and that says meters, I believe, supposedly how long you've walked. But again, unless you put your stride in there, which is your length of your steps, yeah, it's going to be wrong. More useless data, but it's really pretty. Nice to have numbers. The percent and the number of steps would be the two things I'd say you're getting out of this that are valid. I'm going to leave that on for now. and maybe it'll count while we're chatting if I move the watch. The sleep monitor we've all seen. You start that, and it'll tell you how light or heavy your sleep was. Again, reported in the Fundu app somewhere in here when you go into the sleep area. I believe it might just be on here. The home is where you get your steps and calories and distance. All the stuff you saw on the watch shows up here when you synchronize it. The dialer we went through, that's for making the call. Hello, come back. Messages, okay, let's look at our inbox. So the first thing you see, local and Bluetooth up at top. If there's any local messages coming into the SIM card installed here, they'll appear here. If there's any coming in from your phone, which I have some that I can show you, they'll show up like this. And this happens to be a civil defense alert that tells you what you need to know. You have options to this of forwarding it, deleting it, getting details, who it's from, type, creation date, storage, all of that stuff with the message. Forwarding it brings it into a text mode, and there is a tiny little bitty keyboard that you can type on. Ha ha, ouch, I like that. Out, odd. And then I guess you can send it on from there. So you do have reply capability to messages with this watch, albeit they'll probably be rather short. You know that you have that capability because if I get out of here, there's send input method. Oh, look at that. You have different input methods. Smart ABC, Smart ABC, ABC. Lot to learn here. Lots of different keyboard options, it looks like. But I just want to get out of here. Add from phone book. No contacts available. That's fine. Clear. Clear everything. Options. Save. This is wild. There's no way to get back. There, I guess we got back. It's so embarrassing when I mess up like that. So messages. Anyway, you can start a new message. Hey, I'm in the same old message. All right, I don't want to do that. But you see what you can do here. No contacts. Yeah. Goodness. All right, enough of that. Play with the messages. Your call logs, again, you have your local and your Bluetooth call logs. And of course, it's just like normal, who you've called. And then you got your phone book, your local one, and then your Bluetooth phone book. And since I didn't sync, it says I don't have them. But if I did, they'd be right there. So you could probably go to your phone book on your phone, on your watch, pick a number to call, tap on it, and then it'll have the option to call it either from the phone or from the watch. Pretty cool. Yeah. That's all because of this FunduWear linking and the fact that it's a dual mode watch that lets you put a SIM in. There's a few of them out there. This one happens to be a sport watch as well, with more sophisticated data related to sports activities. So that's those four. Then we get into the Find My Device, which we've seen before, where it's going to beep on both of them, supposedly. I don't hear any sound coming out. Do I have the volume up here? Yeah. Well, it beeped back again. All right, that's not doing its thing at the moment, but what it should do is beep on both of them. Not sure why. The notifications, these are all the notifications we saw when we went through and did the tabs. And Twilight is one of the things I have running on here that turns it amber in the evening. You know, that great invention from Apple that has already been on Android for about 5 years? Yeah, that's the one. There's a notification that it's running, and I could do all these things to it as a notification. And look at all of my notifications, not just the first one or the last one like you get when you're running the Cineware app on the phone, on the Android standalone type watches. Very limited on that. You have the Bluetooth camera for Android or iOS, and that'll bring up the camera here. And as you can see, I can get, I don't know, the picture of the bottom of my table, the outside. There you go. I can take a picture. It says capturing, and it's captured that picture on the phone, not on the watch. It just works as a remote trigger. Okay? And we're out of that. And then, of course, Siri, which lets you speak to and hear from Siri on your watch directly just by touching it. What time is it in New York City?
The time in New York is 7:03 p.m.
Okay, so there's your volume coming out of those little speakers on the side. And when you get into settings, you can see that you can crank the volume up. I think it's up all the way. So it's not terribly loud, but it's adequate. Voice memos is where you can record your own voice memos, which I guess we should disconnect the Bluetooth music if you were playing music on here. Hello everybody, this is the AI Watch C5 round screen smartwatch phone MTK2502 unit. It saved it and we can play it.
Hello everybody, this is the AI Watch C5 round screen smartwatch phone MTK2502.
You hear that? Not too shabby. Now let me show you that trick when I had it on. Come back here, play.
Hello everybody,
Hear it muted?
C5 round screen smartwatch phone MTK2502 unit.
Yeah. So you can play with that. Kind of an interesting layout of the speakers. And I can go in here and tap on it.
Hello everybody, this is the AI.
I can go in here and hold on it and do all sorts of things, including delete it. And that, of course, is your voice recorder, basically. Magic Voice. I don't know about this one. This is the one where you're supposed to be able to call and change your voice to sound like something else. I'll come back and do that at the end because I got to set up and mask phone numbers and do all that jazz. But I've never played with it before, so we'll try it and see what it sounds like if you're interested. If not, when it's over, we're done. Clock. This is where you can select the watch face that you want and synchronize your time. Boy, there we go. Okay, that just changed the clock type. Similar to press and hold. And you can, again, synchronize your time on here. The time format, which is shaded out here, says it's 12 hours. You can't change it unless you turn off the time sync first. And then you can change it, then you turn it back on again. A little trick of the trade that lets you update the date format if you seem to have problems doing that. That's come up before. And then you've got your onboard stopwatch, which is what we've all seen before, the basic stopwatch that has ability to do lap times. There we go. That's the first one. That's the second one. That's the third one. And you can scroll down and see the previous ones. Stop it, reset it, and you're done. Simple stopwatch. Alarms, basic, tap to add. Calendar, basic. There's just the date or the month. You can't do much with these. You've seen this all before, so if I'm moving too fast for you, just go to one of the other smartwatch tethering type and you'll see this stuff in a lot of detail. This is all of the stuff that's on here. If you've made some pictures or something, I don't know what those are, then they may be in the audio or the video or the pictures, photos. You can load up some of your own music, perhaps, and play it from the watch, although tethering seems to be a much better way to do that. And that's those four. Flashlights, wild. It just gives you a very bright white screen. But hey, you know what? At night on your arm, if you just need to find your keyhole on your car, there you go. You've got a nice white flashlight. The basic calculator. Okay. I hate to put you guys through all this. Here's the app download. Look at that barcode. Memorize it. When you see a watch that has this barcode, and the giveaway for me is that tiny little square over there with one dot, If I see this thing that's got that, that means, yes, it's fun to wear. Yay! It's the kind of app you want to link to. So if you're out and about playing with smartwatches at some flea market, bring up the barcode. If you see that UR code, whatever, and it's got that little square on it, then that means you got a good tethering watch. And if it's got a SIM slot, that means it's a dual mode watch. And if it does everything else you want, and isn't something other than pink, then you got yourself a good deal. Mode select. This is where you can go into the flight mode and turn off your Bluetooth and stuff. You have a power savings mode and the normal mode as well. Nice little feature. Not all of them have that. The motion detect, which is where we have the wake up gesture, but you can also mute incoming calls or flip to mute the alarm, shake switch to main menu, and shake to answer the phone call. Those are all available as well, as we've seen on many of these watches. The main menu is how the apps are displayed. And I don't want to mess this up, but I'll come back and show you that. Some interesting styles there. The SOS now. This is this button here that lets you press and hold and do a special SOS phone call. This is where you program in the name and numbers of all the different people that you want on the emergency call list. So if you're going to die, you can like put in everybody you know, because there's a whole lot of entries there. If it's just, a heart attack or something, just do one. Just kidding, folks. Anyway, the SOS button is there. And you can actually program that button to do more than one thing. By the way, did I mention that's not only a button, but it's a twirly thing? Yeah, that lets you twirl through this stuff. Settings, we'll come back. And then we've got the Bluetooth music, which we would have to retry to connect because we turned it off so that we could do the voice recorder. But now if we have any kind of music playing, there you go. Wow. That's actually playing from the phone to the watch, Django or Spotify or onboard music, whatever it is, it's there and it plays fine. And then the Bluetooth is where you set up your connectivity. And we're on hot.spot, which is what I've got that one called. Okay, that's the apps except for settings. Now notice that the settings here is the same as the settings here, so you can get to it just by pulling down and going through the Bluetooth settings, turning it on and showing the visibility. This is all for when you're starting to connect. Release connection first. I don't want to, I just want to go back. Yeah, I got the button there, I know. Okay, here's the SOS thing. Oops. Okay, oops. The shortcut, this is it. This is it where you can select what you want it to do when you press the shortcut. Its default is to the SOS, so when you press and hold it, it goes into your SOS list and it would start dialing. However, if you would prefer to start your pedometer, you can press and hold and it'll start the pedometer for you. So you have those options in the shortcut, which include those two, plus the audio player and the camera. All right? So since we were playing the music, I can have that where I press this and I go that and I continue my music. Okay? More than you ever wanted to know, I know. Those are just the first few things. The motion we talked about, those are all those different things. The clock we talked about, we showed that, including how you would change the time format. Remember? It's going to be a test at the end. Sound. You have the alert type and the different ringtones, which are your basic ones. Yes, we're going to disconnect the music in order to hear the ringtones, which are that one. Pretty loud, actually. Pretty loud on this watch, which is good. Practically distorted loud. Say OK, and it locks that one in. Your notification tones are just your basic beep. the harp. And this last one is bicycle bell. Really soft. I usually go with the beep. Okay, those are all set. And then, of course, your volume levels, 1 through 6. You can set them up any way you want. Off, 1. 6 is really loud. And notifications and your multimedia. Those are the 3 volumes you have control over. We have, in addition to this, your display, where you have the different style, which we'll show you in a minute. The brightness level of the watch, which I have really actually cranked down. It's 2. You can go watch that okay there. When I get all the way up, it practically washes out. And all the way down is like that. But 2 is good for the ambient background lighting I've got right now. We've played with that before so that you can see everything on the screen. Just do okay. And the timeout is variable up to 60 seconds and as short as 5 seconds. But I got it at 60, so we're not constantly chasing it. The mode select, we saw. That's, again, normal, flight, and power savings. The international is where we can choose the languages to our auto sync, which is off right now. So it's not syncing the language, which means I can show you the languages that are installed on this watch. Let's hope yours is there. There is quite an international audience, I find, watching our channel, which is really cool. Thank you for tuning in all across the world. It's very, very exciting. Now I can go and turn it on. And now you see I can't do my languages because it's defaulting to the language on the phone. In the tethering mode, overriding in a sense the SIM card for setting language. The name display for your contacts, last name first or first name last. And apps. Here's where we can uninstall the apps that we had in here. Remember, we put the weather app in and a couple of watch faces, but I suggest you do that from the app and not from here. Resetting the whole watch, that'll erase everything from it if you want to. And again, we already looked at the about, and that was at the beginning, and that gave us all our basic information. So we have almost everything. I was going to show you the different layouts on here. This is the 4x, okay? And I think that was in the display that I can go into the menu type and show you the smart style. And that looks like this. This is where you can slide all over the place, or maybe twirl it, make it bigger and smaller. Wow, somebody ought to invent that. Oh, somebody already did. Look at that. This is on an inexpensive sports watch, dual mode, with SIM, with tethering. My gosh. And it does this fun little, I don't even want to say the company's name because I don't want to get sued, but I know I've seen this somewhere. Thumbs up, baby. Oh, that's motion. All right, sorry. Settings over here. We are looking at display. I know it's another place on here, but this is the one I remember on how to get to. So we're going to show you the techie style. Are you ready for this? Whoa. It's a 4x, all in blue, and a whole new set of icons you have to memorize as to what these puppies are. You see why I left it in a 4x? So we could at least get through it and we'd know what we're talking about. Airplane mode, maybe? Flashlight? Calculator? No idea. Plaquemine? Yeah. Okay. So those are all the features that you've got. There's that UV reading. I wonder if it's gotten any. I really need to try that in sunlight, see what it does. Okay. So we are looking at this AI watch C5, which is actually a really nice watch in anything but pink. You gotta take this back, and you've got to screw this back on here after you get it. It'll lie right in here, and 4 screws, and an included screwdriver, and a charger with the wire attached, but it is USB, and a strong magnet on that thing. I wouldn't call it waterproof because there's so many ways water can get in it. And look how stiff the bands are. There's no way you can take them off. So you're limited in those regards, but other than that, this is a sweet little watch. And if you want to pick it up at a special coupon price, I sound like a salesman, don't I? Everbuying, please. Thank you, Everbuying, for supplying this AI watch. In fact, we've got a kind of a wave of sport-oriented watches coming through here that Everbuying has sent us to contrast, compare, and check out. And now with Apple coming out with a brand new, what is it called? Level 2, Style 2, Feature 2. The new 2, Apple Watch 2, looks just like 1, except instead of being fashion focused, it's sport focused. Well, you can probably buy 3 of these for your friends, for your relatives, and for yourself for the price of 1 Apple Watch, and have a SIM card installed, have SOS button functionality if you need to, and do all sorts of things with it. It's a great watch, the AI Watch C5. Check the show notes under this video for the coupon price from Everbuying. Thanks for watching. We will be back.